All rise.
Thank you. Be seated, please.
The defendant murdered Susan Dykes in her trailer by brutally beating her about the head with an aluminum baseball bat. He gagged her at some point as he carried out the murder. He stole his father-in-law's boat from his yard for use in carrying out his murder plan. The defendant wrapped her body in a blanket to transport her. Using the victim's car with the boat tied atop, he then took Susan Dykes' body to Lake Cassidy. The defendant used mule tape rope and bound her torso and both feet to 3 concrete blocks and then threw her overboard and sank her body in the lake with the intent that she never be found. The defendant was surely surprised by the body of the victim floating to the surface of the lake and being found. On Sunday evening, the 8th of October, from the Walton County Jail, the defendant phoned his wife and gave her specific directions to move some of the evidence that he had left behind at the victim's trailer. This aggravating circumstances that the capital felony was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel was proved beyond a reasonable doubt. The crime for which the defendant is to be sentenced was committed in a cold and calculated and premeditated manner without any pretense of moral or legal justification. The court has given the jury's advisory sentence and recommendation great weight. The court has very carefully considered and weighed the aggravating and mitigating circumstances found to exist in this case, being ever mindful that a human life is at stake. The court finds, as did the jury, that the aggravating circumstances do outweigh the mitigating circumstances. Accordingly, it is ordered and adjudged that the defendant, Kirk Williams, is hereby sentenced to death for the murder of Susan Dykes. It is hereby ordered that the Sheriff of Walton County surrender the defendant to the Florida Department of Corrections to be kept in close confinement until your execution as provided by law.